Does it matter? Year and a half since Liberation Night.
Can you hear me? Alex? Are you receiving? Calling. This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking you when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favour. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
Episode of Just the Job, followed at 10 p.m. by a chance to see the very last episode of Just the Job.
So what?
How's he doing?
Dr.
How should I know?
haven't heard from him.
attempting to learn the
He's a wanted
xylophone
criminal,
in
Colin.
So's my nan, but she never misses her birthday.
Your grandmother's on the run, Colin.
Yeah. Armed robbery, resisting arrest, double homicide of the same bloke. She's right like
Double homicide of the same bloke.
Right, though. No, he's got this far, and your brother was fine.
Going in 10 seconds, everybody.
Wonder what they're doing to him. Annoying him, probably. Not probably, definitely.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
It's over to the newsroom for tonight's National Nightly.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf.
You think she'd get a partner?
Tonight, future legend. It's been 40 days since Johnstruct conducted multiple attacks across the territories. During the coordinated action, subsequently dubbed the Night of Fire, emergency services were kept busy at the agricultural centres, while a series of covert attacks were carried out freeing political prisoners, including former newsman...
Yeah!
Nothing's been heard from the missing journalist since the violent disrupt attack on his convoy 6 weeks ago. Donaldson was on his way back to Betterment after his notorious court appearance.
So I want to mention, if I want to talk, I have to pause like this. I think the thing with Alex James is obviously he started off as a sort of parody of Alex Jones, which obviously leans you into not liking him very much. And like he admittedly was talking nonsense until the big... and I think the start of Disrupt was very silly as well, because it was all obviously just the rich people fighting back. But obviously as soon as they did a multiple nuclear attack, Disrupt obviously becomes a real organisation. And like... I think they did that quite well. Like he literally... It seemed like he dropped the facade like through that. It's like, alright, we're gonna... What the fuck is going... So like, yeah. Obviously at this point you just... He is a real actual cause. He's not just trying to get money out of people.
All of us here at Channel 1 hope that wherever he is now, he's safe. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack Tractorpants, spokesman for the menu centres, said today that while they can guarantee the contents of every box is nutritious, the actual quality of the meals you cook depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills of a professional footballer. If I were a rich man, problems in territories 11, 17 and 22 today as striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150% bonuses, private jets and mandatory grovelling zones. Advance have been quick to respond, saying if they would rather quit their cushy jobs to become nurses or teachers, they'll earn significantly more than they used to pay their own workforce.
See, I don't mind this part of Advance.
No one has taken up the challenge. Some fun now. Signs of ever more resistance to Advance's radical policies today, as popular resistance movement Disrupt extended their reach further across the territories. The organisation's emblem appeared in every major city across the territories last night in a well-coordinated publicity stunt, which has seen them dominate the headlines. Asked about the impressive display earlier today, Disrupt spokesperson Alan James said that the movement was reaching what he described as a critical mass. A poor choice of words given recent history. And an ending of sorts tonight for 3 stories we've been following. A fistful of dollars. After a highly profitable year, Remington's Fist today announced the opening of their new high-tech underwater corporate HQ. Astounding CEO Sophia Remington, pictured here, departing for the new HQ built using underwater FLAR technology, commented, "We've put windows everywhere, saves a fortune on aquariums." A happy ending there for Sophia Remington. Pass the salt, a concerning end to the tale of the trapped academics of Dante's Taint, as an image transmitted to the surface seems to show them cooking the captain of the rescue craft. After public indifference led to the mission's funding being slashed, Captain Audrey Aerospace was forced to wrestle the hastily constructed vessel through treacherous caverns to reach the stranded scientists.
Oh dear.
But on arrival, she found she hadn't been given enough fuel for a return journey. So it seems with their fate sealed, the shipwrecked scholars have reacted in the only reasonable fashion. Let's hope they've got enough croutons to go with their sailor soup. Personal growth. Reformed bad boy Johnny Hamsleeves proved the naysayers wrong last night as he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Medicine. Hail the visionaries in
Well, at least I got him
cure for
there.
cancer last year. Johnny has come a long way from his sporting roots. In his acceptance speech, he acknowledged his battle with addiction and thanked his team of grad students before attempting to swap shirts with the chemistry laureate. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Parks for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
People of the territories, today is the day we take back control. Soon it will be time for you to help us again. Come out of your houses, block the traffic, bring the capital to a standstill. I've met so many of you in my travels up and down Territory 1. You always ask the same question, how can I help? Well, this is how. And as for when, you'll know. Keep watching.
But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're live.
Of course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days. She's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Oh.
Signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back. Meanwhile, let me just say, I think the memorial gardens are going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, okay, all right, it seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon, and we are indeed live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury.
Yeah, so he's run, presumably.
Behind
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
This is Alan. You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
I like that. The devil's on my shoulder.
Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rothering, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television, first moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences up and down the country.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, late-night chat show PT, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these united territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man we loved. But his eyes still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago, moments before I was supposed to give a speech. Not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself, and I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked, and from behind me I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive, a brilliant thinker, a natural leader, but mostly a good man. This glorious, beautiful and new, this shining beacon of
Thank you, Alex.
equality and
There'll be another opportunity to steer public perception soon. It's really starting. You'll know when.
Despite his accomplishments, the future he forged, the boundaries he pushed, to me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Shall we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now, Alex, control the message.
Mom, we have to get you to safety. Come with us.
I'm not leaving, I can't!
Oi!
You two, come with me! Don't panic!
You're hurting me!
Stop resisting, then. Stop resisting and we'll let you up.
I'm not resisting! Ah! Fuck
What are you doing?
I'm not resisting! You all saw! I'm not resisting! Take brutality!
Turn the camera off.
Yes!
You have the right to be here. I said turn the fucking camera off. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Medics are coming. You sit down.
No, I can't hear you. I'm from the...
No, stay with me.
Well, then you can consider this payback.
Stay with me.
Salisbury's still here.
Centipedes are requested. Target approaching songbird.
Target armed.
Target armed.
Haven't you done enough? Look around you.
Fucking
This is what your precious freedom looks like, is it? Under fire! Take to the streets, the time has come. Stop fires, break windows, draw them out. They can't stop us all. Resist, distract. Lower your weapons.
Location secure.
Lower your weapons.
Come on, get out now. No. What are you doing? Come on.
Will you turn that off, please, sir? I said, please turn that off. Please turn that off.
Shocking scenes.
Is this not enough? You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians. People like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters, storm the building, demand elections, demand answers. Be what you were born to be, the once and future free.
That means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
That didn't go so well, Alex.
Everyone's safe for the crew.
But we can turn it around in the next segment.
Good distance from the unit base.
Oh my God. This is becoming a weekly event.
No, it's different tonight. This is the big one.
Great. So there's a revolution happening outside and we're off to dangly fucking parts.
That's journalism, apparently.
Can we get set for the next sequence?
So I'll pause. This is a visual novel stroke, yeah, that sort of Night Trap type thing. Somebody else said FNAF. More like Night Trap, to be honest. Like a sort of Papers, Please is probably more accurate. It is satire. The whole point is you are spinning wheels, right? There's lots of buttons you need to press at the right times. You need to make sure you're constantly changing signals for the television for the signal to go up. People are hacking or disrupting the signal, so you've got to make sure that's correct. You've got to bleep out swear words and stuff like that. And every level has different distractions. But also there's a story going on, so you're sort of controlling the narrative. So right now, obviously, we're near the end of the game, so there's like a full-on rebellion going on, and I get to control the narrative. The only issue I have is occasionally it's quite difficult to tell which. I understand obviously you're just supposed. There was a good screen and a bad screen that I chose, but I couldn't. There you go, Five Nights at Freddy's. I couldn't necessarily know. So I decided to play the game naively. Also, Advance, it's British. It's a British communists. So they took away all the money from the rich people, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And the game was just oh, isn't that evil? I'm like, oh, this is not sure. But at some point they did, and I was like, I'll play it naively as well. It's kind of more fun. I'm not supposed to. I didn't want to anticipate them being evil before they done anything properly bad. But the guy on the screen, the guy who's talking to me, was an Alex Jones parody. At the start of the game, he has these stupid conspiracy theories and he's a nutter. And then halfway through the game, of course, this country bombs, sends a nuclear bomb to sends it through the post, nukes 4 countries because they were doing sanctions. And you're in the visual story novel parts. Your daughter happened to be on holiday. So I'm well, obviously, I have no choice but to follow the revolution at this point. It'd be insane for me not to. But yeah, there's a tiny bit of context. But there's all these parody videos. After every episode, you can watch the videos back because there's loads of missing information. Because again, while you're on adverts, they talk and stuff.
We don't have spoons. It's Crazy Neil with another steal of a deal. We got sticks. We got sticks that do tricks. We got an evil child. This is my young niece, Felicia. Small, nimble, agile. She can get through a dog flap, cat flap, rabbit flap, rat trap, mouse trap. All you gotta do is feed her once a day. She'll eat anything. Scrap, food off your plate, food out the bin, dog food. This is a steal of a deal to have a family member stealing for you. Buy Crazy Deal. We got sticks. Buy our sticks. Buy our motherfucking sticks. Empty toilet rolls. Some are crushed, some are squashed, some are ripped up, some aren't even cardboard. Some of them are just grit in a bag. We'll beat you with a
Alex, during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom who's one of us is going to get a coded location out. We don't know yet which camera he's on, But if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the ear for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Come on down. It's Crazy Neil.
This is your new makeup artist, Craig?
No.
What?
No.
10 seconds, everybody. Sorry, Craig. It's a no. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me.
I'm covering up buttons, by the way.
Very shortly, we'll be heading on over to the final episode of what has quickly become a hugely successful feature, the notice board. But before we do, let's chat with Philippa Radin. Tell me, why do you think the public love the notice board so much?
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people. You know, people look at us and they say, those are real people struggling with real problems.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them.
And because it's mainly comedy, it's very hit and miss, this. Sometimes it's really funny, and sometimes it's kind of...
Interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph, but a swift kicking from security.
It's sometimes just sort of broad.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
It's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Wow, you really have a lot to thank you for.
Hey. Have a lot to thank you. You're welcome.
We've just heard our man's on camera for.
I have a real sense of...
Get back to the interview, Alex.
A sense I've been entrusted with something precious and that I should use that platform for good.
Yeah, I think that's really important, that we should use this...
That was 5 seconds, right?
To do good in the world, I agree.
That's exactly it. So I've decided to help as many...
Excellent work, Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them the go.
Is that better access to education, or reducing child poverty?
No, by adopting as many as I can get my hands on.
Oh, okay. How many children have you adopted?
Oh, we're well into the double figures now, Megan. I stopped counting in the late 30s.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah, once we finish putting them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean, any child I can take on is a child rescued from suffering.
Poor children. Were their lives really that bad before?
Oh, they're Northerns, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think, actually, that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
And I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable, then?
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water, so actually, if anyone wants to, I'd happily trade.
Now that I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Radin sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough from me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the Notice Board.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do. Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course. Keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know! It's a disgrace. Somebody
It's time for the go code. Give us 3 boos in a row, Alex. That will start the pincer movement. We might just pull this off. Push forwards! 3 boos, Alex.
Careful, Vicar. It looks heavy.
Ha! They don't call me the Right Reverend. Ripped for no reason.
Yes!
It's no good.
It looks like all those crucifix classes were a waste of time.
Perhaps you, a young CCO, would be able to move it.
Try and get the next one.
I thought I'd done it.
Looks like all those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me. A strong and capable
Let's
woman.
hope that's enough.
Surely there's
At least you tried, Alex.
What do you mean? At least I tried. I pressed boo like 6 times.
Call for the best firefighter in town.
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community. For my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferret struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked. But
God!
Some people have no decency.
sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry. We won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature, but really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fate. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
It's the morning of the village fete, thanks to theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then, I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again!
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fete.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that he had no more room for jam.
almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here, officer!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well. That was it, the final ever episode of the Notice Board, and what a way to end it. Thank you as always to Jeff, Philippa and Tommy. After the break, we'll be both dancing and learning, so don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ads. Well done, everybody.
Wow! What a brilliant run, eh?
Alex, this station is supposed to be unbiased. Your partisan behavior will end up getting us taken into public ownership even sooner. Less revolutionary zeal. Do your job.
Hey, you!
Progressive, their
Come to
policies.
the after party?
Well, I was wrong. And I'm here tonight to say I'm sorry. And to beg for your forgiveness.
One last push, Alex. We're closing in. One of the guests in the last section is working with us. You'll be asked to censor on our behalf. If you do it right, the final orders will be given. You'll get 3 chances. Get at least 2 of them right, and we're going to win this thing. It's happening, Alex. Tonight we take it back.
So when Advance came to power, I didn't think about the damage they would do. I acted selfishly. I was glad to see the rich punished. I didn't see how backwards Advance were. I didn't understand that rather than tearing down the wealth creators, we should have been helping everyone else to take a seat at their table. Under Advance,
be a little bit of both.
in ambition. It is poor in
I think it's mainly the nukes that I don't like, and the sort of weird Nazi stuff.
Policies.
Happy for you to take money off the rich.
Mum, I'm really not supposed to say.
Are we safe?
Hi, I'm Maddie. Johnny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
I have hauled myself out to the media to defend. That's my shade, is it?
Oh, is that the scientist?
This is my shade. My parents. I see that now. Mum, Dad. You can run back to Jenny now. Our only hope. Sorry about that, Sarah. Nothing you can tell me. At all, like at all.
They've said no one's died, that's all I can say.
10 seconds.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment.
Shit, what was I supposed to do again?
Let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
I'm supposed to censor on their behalf?
Doctor? Yes, I see. Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning, and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charitable deeds. But the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John, oh, dearest John, there's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wong, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, oh, John, we're having a baby.
How can is me. Oh, woe is me. Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of
Safety in our tiny flat. We built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in territory 3. No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club. You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's wrong.
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one walls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife. We got a childless life.
We're having a baby.
We're having a baby. Changing nappies daily. We're having a baby. No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
And drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have a childless days.
We're having a baby.
No more stars and no more we're having a baby. 18 years on bills and leaves. Time for a whole new phase.
We're having a baby.
One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Amazing. The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre.
So I'm just mute on Son's behalf.
Who's later this year. Right then, come on, you got, come on down, let's go, don't be shy.
Oops.
Hello.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
It's an honour to be here.
Oh, really? Are you fans of the show?
Yeah, as used to be.
Well, listen, let's get stuck in. Your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boreham-Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe, as well as being friends, you're also couples. You in real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack. Jen, Janet, Jill, Jen, Janet, Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Mimbley Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece isn't.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children and why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Terrible problem.
Having children.
Well, you understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
This isn't about me.
Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
Very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because...
You're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So, could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in
Yes,
it?
well,
Go ahead.
it's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
I'm dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know, when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The no grief. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from
Did I do the muting right?
horrific events. Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have been found myself caught up in. Still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
Didn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. For being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right. So, is the situation... Now, are we safe?
There's a new monologue on the autocue feed.
The security services performed their duties without hesitation, and I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
Oh, that's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course, the camera, there's the camera. Speak there, on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in the studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line tonight. Horrifying. Maybe you need to get checked out, Patrick. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News. But before we go, tonight's National Nightly News.
Victory is in sight, my friends. You have mobilized. You have come together. From our agents at the television networks risking arrest and getting those words to you, to the many hundreds and thousands gathering to invade team headquarters. As I speak, we are turning the tide, and it is time for change. Tonight we topple their regime, and we also silence their mouthpiece, Channel 1. Time to wake up.
Out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming
Oh dear.
that would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and it's pretty scary out there tonight. So stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this programme that the turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our minds on building the new future with equality, fairness, and resources for all. My name is Megan Wolf.
Damn it, Alex. Tonight is the beginning of the fall of Advance. Fighter jet, 11 o'clock. Commander's rig, sir. Permission to detonate. Permission granted, old friend. We are going to detonate. Look out your window, Alex. See what you helped make happen.
What have I done? I think there's one more episode left of this, but I'm gonna have to let you go. What was that, Boastman? And there we go. Broadcast complete. I've got to see. I've got my full wages. Still well off. Oh, my shares went down there. Right, I'm going to save and quit. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the Johnstruct. I've been having a not for broadcast adventure. I'll see you next time. Oh well. It's not starting, it's ending. Has been a wild ride.